So here we are, knocking on the door of our 25th year in business.
Unbelievable.
It blows me away. I mean, it seems like yesterday we were filming a video for our 20th, and here we are on our 25th. What do you think's changed in the last 25 years with respect to NM?
Oh, with respect to NM, so gee, Todd, how many offices were we in 1998?
4.
And how many offices are we today?
28.
Well, that's unbelievable, right?
It is.
How many agents did we have in 1998?
Just about 200.
And how many agents do we have today?
About 1,200 agents and staff.
Exactly, exactly. You know, what a crazy, crazy 25 years it's been, but you know, how wonderful. Thrilled to be here at 25 years, still leaning forward, still looking at growing and building careers and, you know, doing the best we can to provide the service we want and our consumers want.
So we've had some obvious growth within our company, but the real estate industry today is nothing compared to what it was when you and I were hawking houses on the streets.
Oh, geez, Todd, you know, I got to tell you, I remember growing up, all right, and my mom, who was in the business, she used to lay in bed at night with a newspaper in front of her, circling ads for things that her customers might want, the people she was meeting with the next day, and hoping and praying that the listing agent would co-op with her for these properties she thought her buyers might be interested in.
That's crazy.
So, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So think about what we all started with. The nucleus and the crux of our business was then and is now real estate. But in order to adapt, in order to provide the consumer and the clients exactly what they need, we needed to make sure that we had full service. And so one of the biggest announcements we want to make is that we are no longer going to be calling ourselves the parent company, NM Management.
Right.
We're going to be calling ourselves NM Real Estate Service, which I think actually befits that which we do on a daily basis that much better. Namely, mortgage, title, insurance, all rolled into real estate at the center of that hub. Since we've grown, and since we've seen the massive, literally sevenfold growth, I can't do that alone. And you have been kind enough to have my back through the years, but we're going to go forward and we're going to tag team even more closely on running NM Real Estate Services.
Well, you know, Todd, if you think about it, okay, 25 years ago, the buyers and sellers, if they wanted to be involved in a real estate transaction, they usually came to a realtor first. All right. Now, with technology and all of the platforms and all of the different sources for information, I think it is good in many, many regards, but it's also gotten very confusing. And I think you have to agree. I mean, the truth is, we've got to react to the consumer to provide the best service, and they're asking for a little more direction, okay, to kind of clarify some of that confusing information that's out in the market.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, what the money that we used to put into the Washington Post ad obviously went by the by, and that money has been reallocated into all sorts of tools and systems to better equip our agents so they can be successful. And that's what this is really all about. I mean, it's about how can we best equip our agents so they can achieve their greatest success.
Absolutely.
How can we best equip our originators and our settlement officers and our insurance providers so they can reach their level of success? We've got somebody that we need to actually bring into this discussion who has been with us for knocking on the door of 18 of those 25 years, and he's proven himself in the role that he was promoted to 5 years ago as Executive Vice President of Growth. Jason Carrier knows us, eats, breathes, and sleeps everything that NM is, and what he did in that role, he's now going to be elevated to the role of President of Century 21 New Millennium. So we owe a huge debt of thanks, and we congratulate Jason on stepping into that role.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm laughing and smiling because I'm here today because I was fortunate to have an opportunity to actually save someone in a water. And the true statement is Todd Hetherington actually saved me because I would have drowned. And the other key piece is Mary Lynn was on the beach reviving us as we came in barely alive in that. And if that doesn't tell you the evolution of trust in a partnership and believing in people, because that is what leadership is all about. I'm humbled and honored to be in this position. I do believe investment in a success of not only the infrastructure of our company, but in our agents is everything that we live, breathe, and sleep. The complexity to stand up a real estate brokerage today is significantly different than what it was 20 years ago when I got in this business. And part of that growth is creating a higher level of demand on us to go out every day and do our jobs and do best by the customer, do best by our staff, and do best by our agents. And that is 100% where we are committed day in and day out. I said to the group a couple weeks ago that part of my role is going to be to listen, to learn, and to coach and to lead our people. And that's something that I've learned from Todd and Mary Lynn, and I will carry that honor and carry that leadership into the future for Century 21 New Millennium.
So Jay, before you joined us, you were in a consulting role for what is now called Anywhere, and you worked directly with ERA Worldwide and with, at the time, Sendent Corporation. One of Jason's biggest attributes is that he understands the business, and from a listening standpoint, he consults. He was in a consulting role for several years there, and he met with brokers worldwide, and he assisted them in achieving their greater success. And that's what you're parlaying in to do it on the agent level and on the branch level to assist our agents and to assist our branch leaders. So guys, there's nobody better equipped to jump into that role.
Well, the evolution of that role to where we are today to do surveys and understand how agents, what challenges they're faced with, and where we can help them day in and day out win more listings and win more buyers and win more renters. That was part of what I did. And then I got a chance to understand the financial component of how real estate brokerages work, which was significantly different 20 years ago than it is today.
That's for sure.
And so I take that with a grain of salt. I had the pleasure to work with companies from Maine to Florida to California to Hawaii to Texas, and every one of those brokerages was different. There wasn't any one similarity. The only one similarity that we will never lose sight of, and that's keeping the focus on the agent and keeping the focus on the end user, which is the customer. Without strong agents and without professionals serving our customers every day, we don't have a transaction to discuss. So it's keeping that line of communication at the forefront.
And to that end, that's the start of it. But the other steps that need to occur to make the transaction successfully close at the end does include the other services, Todd. They're equally important in many regards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we're thrilled to be able to have great partners to provide those additional services after the transaction starts to make sure that the consumer's getting the best service and the best quality product.
So a couple of comments to piggyback on that. What we've got already, well now, when you think about it, I mentioned, we've got about 115 employees. We had a handful 25 years ago.
Right.
Mary Lynn, one of the biggest attributes she brings to the table is her relationship skills. So Mary Lynn, job with NM Real Estate Services is to make sure that the staff coalesces completely and seamlessly between the real estate, the mortgage, the title, the insurance, and that everybody is making sure that the client remains center of the transaction.
Absolutely.
And that the agent, to Jason's point, is going to also be the center of the transaction. So that's really where you shine, and I'm really looking forward to you spearheading that in your expanded role. In president of NM Real Estate Services.
Absolutely. And, I do think the longer and the more years that we're all together, we really are a team. And I think that the services work together hand in hand just to make sure that the transaction is truthfully as smooth and convenient for the consumer as it can possibly be. So that's the goal.
So speaking as a team, and that's a good way to segue into our next really exciting announcement. Jason has been friends with a gentleman by the name of Kevin McGarity, who has been involved in the mortgage industry for the last 30 plus years. And I think for the last 18, we've been trying to get him.
Easily 18, maybe more.
So it may have taken us the better part of 18 years, but today we're very pleased to announce that we have somebody joining us, Mr. Kevin McGarity, as the first president of NM Real Estate Services Mortgage Division. For the better part of the last year, we've been working with Kevin. Welcome, Kevin.
Good morning.
We've been working with Kevin, and Mary Lynn and Jason and I have been completing our due diligence on trying to figure out who best to affiliate on a national level our mortgage company with. Can you shed some light on part of that due diligence process and also give some background on who Kevin McGarity is?
Sure. So I've been in the mortgage business for 30 years. And I spent the last 25 or so in the mortgage real estate relationship space, which is exactly what we're doing here. I'm super excited to be part of the NM real estate leadership team and look forward to growing the mortgage business. Over the course of my career, I've had the opportunity to meet Todd, Jason, Mary Lynn, and the rest of the leadership team throughout the course of the years, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be part of this team today. During my time, I've originated loans, I've managed local sales teams, regional sales divisions, and even national mortgage relationships. So I think all that's going to transition well. And it really came in helpful as we, over the last 12 months or so, looked to find the next partner for C2 on New Millennium. During that process, we landed on CMG Home Loans, which I absolutely think is the best option out there. When we did that, we vetted basically everything that's important to a loan officer and a real estate company, which is the pricing, the products, the process, special programs, the marketing, the technology, as well as the national footprint. And I feel that everything is lined up for our loan officer team to be not only very successful, but also to provide great service to our real estate partners and their customer base. So over the next few weeks or so, I really look forward to getting out into the market, meeting with you and the loan officers, and really talking about the tools and programs that we have to grow our business and to help you sell more homes.
So I'm sure you guys can tell just from Kevin's resume and background that he's going to be the guy to lead us to the next level from a mortgage standpoint. So we couldn't be any more excited than that. As we jump into 2024, we're hoping that you guys take advantage. Jay, you want to speak to a second about the roadshow that you're going to be going through here over the next several weeks, please?
Absolutely. I'm headed out into all of our branches over the next 3 weeks, diving into details of business planning. Business planning is something we take very seriously on the mortgage level, on all of our divisions. And I'm going to listen, I'm going to learn, coach, and train on the best ways with our leadership to make sure we're executing on our plans. That will be coming over the course of right up to Thanksgiving, and then we'll be ready to launch our plans for next year.
And, Jason, you and I are going to probably work hand in hand, because it isn't just with the branches that we are going to, be rolling out a game plan to make sure that all of our services are combined and together. We'll be doing the same thing with all of our departments and all of our services.
Fabulous.
Let's call that a cross-pollination.
So we're looking forward to a incredibly successful 2024, ladies and gentlemen.